And welcome back into the Beers and Balls Show. My name is Eddie, and on this New Year edition, we have Drew here, the greatest co-host in all of the game. Drew,
Happy New Year, people.
Happy New Year, Drew. How are you?
I'm doing all right. How about you?
I'm pretty pissed off. It's been a tough go in football and kind of sports general since Micah Parsons tore his ACL. Everything's been going just absolutely shite since Micah Parsons tore his ACL. Packers can't find a win. Ohio State's lost back-to-back games. They got embarrassed in back-to-back games. I don't even know where to begin.
Man, we started off hot with the podcast, and then everybody just fell apart, man. I don't know what happened.
But before we get into just my absolute misery and all the Miami fans, all the Bears fans, all everybody that hates, winners, love watching winners lose, make sure you comment down below. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and then get into that. Let's go. Cheers. Little first year New Year's cheer.
Cheers.
So, Drew, did you watch Miami just beat the dog shit out of Ohio State last night?
I was watching it in and out of it. I talked to you, said it looked like Miami was just more physical. Ohio State, I was surprised, man. I'm so surprised. I did not think Miami was legit, but maybe they are. What about you? What did you think?
It was my worst, I wouldn't say fear. I mean, there's bigger things to worry about than football, but if I'm going to use a lack of better word than worry, I have no better word salad for worry, is the same thing I talked to my dad about when we were talking. I said, the right guard position, I worry about it. And he got exposed again. And watching the first half, I was like, this was, it was a big risk by Ryan Day to just go ahead and throw out all the linemen that just committed to Ohio State about 2 weeks ago and just go ahead and play them without any practice. That was quite a risk. And it did not pay off, but you're exactly right, especially on the front. They got absolutely manhandled. All game long up front, they made Ohio State's offensive linemen look like a JV football team.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, they were just getting it after it, and they were doing the same thing. And Indiana was getting after y'all too, with just those 4-man rushes. So, I'm not sure how your O-line's been all year, but these past 2 games have been horrible. I mean, we saw that one play of that left tackle just missed about 3 blocks in one play. I mean, my goodness, he didn't touch anybody.
Big parlay could have blocked the guy. I mean, the guy, the left tackle, I mean, when he was lined up on that edge, because I think it was like a corner or a slot corner came on that blitz on that play, he got stoned as if that slot corner was like Medusa. It was just like, you're done. You're not playing this play, because all the end did was just kind of just hang around the left guard, or that left guard was just like, where am I doing? And the left tackle was just like, this is the hardest thing he's ever had to comprehend was, how do I block this guy?
Yeah, and it was bad. It's like he initially went for the end, who was kind of lined up inside, but the guard took him, and then he was late on the corner getting there, and then another guy from the other side came around. He didn't block him, and then another guy came up to say, he basically helped him sack, saying that was one of the worst plays I've probably ever seen.
I mean, he did. He hit him right into him, and there's a lot of blame to go around on that. I mean, Jordan saying you got to get rid of the ball. Fast. I mean, he hit in is wide open. And that was kind of a problem that Sayan had all day, was when he had time, he wouldn't get rid of the ball, which was very far in between was when he actually had time. Because it looked like Lawrence Taylor and Michael Parsons were coming after Julian Sayan all night on that Miami defensive front. But they got a little brothered. It just kind of felt like.
I mean, the only person on the team that looked like he wanted to be there and play was Jeremiah Smith. I mean, he was just having a game, man. I mean, he was putting the team on his back.
He quietly had one of the best wide receiver performances in college football playoff history.
Yeah.
That nobody's going to talk about ever because of how embarrassing that game was.
Yeah, that one where he caught that slant over the middle and made those 3 guys miss and score. I was like, wow, that's special.
Yeah, and he's one of those guys that he's not, when you're watching his tape, you're not thinking to yourself, wow, this guy's fast like Tavon Austin. But his strides are so long that it becomes unguardable.
Yeah, he's just quick and physical and smart, can catch. I mean, he's got it all. I mean, he's going to be a top pick.
Yeah, I mean, I wish the surrounding cast of future first-round picks in next year's drafts would have came with that. I mean, Caleb Downs played great. They just kept the ball out of his stratosphere. Miami did, which is great. One of their better players. Lorenzo Styles went out early with a shoulder injury, probably separated it or something.
Mhm.
I don't know if they actually came out and said what the injury was. So they had to run out a new freshman corner, Sanchez. But what blows my mind than anything else, not that there should have been flags in those first 3.5 quarters, because referees these days, they love being on camera. You know, they love talking to us, letting us know what kind of fuck ups they do, play in and play out. But there was
Yeah.
no flags until damn near 3 minutes left in the third quarter or in the fourth quarter. You know, there was
Yeah.
no flags.
Well, there was definitely no holding calls to call on Ohio State because they were just letting them right through. So
Well, they called one, and it was
yeah.
like the worst call to make it on. That wasn't a hold. The guy slipped and went to the ground.
Yeah, I mean, just a bad game. But I mean, Miami's offense, I mean, their rushing attack. That guy looked like Rico Dowdle out there, number 4.
Fletcher, I mean, he looked like
Fletcher,
Rico
yeah.
Dowdle mixed with a little bit of Derrick Henry and the pounding
Yeah.
that he gave the Packers on the last Saturday night.
Yeah, just hard nosed running, man. And that's how they controlled the game. They had, I think, about 10, 12 more time of possession over y'all. And I mean, it looks like they were just pounding the rock. I mean, they had like 150, 160 rushing yards compared to y'all's like 40, 50, something like that.
Yeah. And
And especially when Bo Jackson's supposed to be one of the better players on your team, isn't he?
Can we outlaw sacks being along in rushing yards?
Yeah, that's nonsense.
How can you lose rushing yards on a passing play? You know, when the result isn't given to the running back to do anything. I just don't understand how you can do that.
Yeah, I saw Saying had like negative 33 yards rushing. I was like, man,
never took off and ran the ball once. He's like, I thought for a long time, I thought sack yards went against passing yards, but I've never looked into it because it doesn't matter. Like, the drive's done. You get sacked, your fucking drive's done. Move on. Who cares about the actual statistics towards it? But it was, they got out. But I'll say Ohio State played physical though. Like when they made hits, they were hard hits too. You know, so I think the level of physicality was there. Where it was lacking were in just the worst places that it can be worked, which is on your offensive line and on your defensive line. Because the easiest way to lose a football game outside of giving turnovers away is not being able to block a pass rush and not having a pass rush of your own. That's exactly what Ohio State has dealt with in the past 2 weeks against Indiana and now Miami.
Yeah, I think what really killed it for y'all was that that Jeremiah Smith bomb, got you all down the field into the red zone, and then Julian Sand throws a pick six, to that busted screen. Guy ran right through it. I mean, that was just a morale killer. And I mean, they go up 14-0. I mean, I think when I saw that, I was like, "Ooh, that might be the game right there." that was just demoralizing.
I mean, talking about that screen, it was a down and away snap. So what I thought immediately, and just what I still think, right play call, terrible fucking bad execution. Down and away snap, where Saint has to catch it here, and then Jeremiah Smith misses a block. Tight end just doesn't try and block anybody. He's thinking he just needs to get to the second level, and the ball naturally is going to get thrown late when you have a down and away snap. It's just, that's the result you're going to get when you have 3 bad things happen on a backwards pass, basically. You're just it's just gonna shite.
Yeah, it doesn't help that the defender was, mugging up, and then he immediately just jumped it and nobody blocked him. I mean, just I mean, if I'm a quarterback, I'm kind of was that an RPO or was that just a straight screen?
No, it's just straight screen. You would have thought it was because of how long it took, and it's because of that bad snap.
Yeah, well, I'm just like, on the screen passes, man. If that corner is like pressing on him, I don't like it. He's way too close. I would have called something else, in my opinion, but they should have blocked. So bad execution, like you said, but who knows?
Big credit's got to go to Miami because on both sides of the ball, they played great.
Yeah. That's what happens when you have Ray Lewis on your sideline, man.
Ray Lewis and Michael Irvin, when you have like 2 of the top, I don't know, 20, 25 Hall of Famers just on the sideline. Michael Irvin going crazy, telling people to take shelter, take those fans, take shelter. There's a Category 5 hurricane coming through Arlington, Texas. Go take shelter. They got problems there, but they showed up to play, and again, another home team off a bye, losing in the college football playoff. They're like 0-6 right now, or 0-5. And as we're recording, Oregon's up 3-0 on Texas Tech. Is there something in the water? I don't know.
Oh, you think Miami's legit?
I do. I do because when it's playoff football is so much more different.
Hmm.
Um, than like the regular season because it's just like in the NFL. If you have a good run game and you play good defense, you're going to win playoff games or you're going to be in it all the way to the end. And they're able to do that. They got that big Fletch who can just run through people, and then they have their change of pace back, who was really good as well. But and the great part of it is that they stay within the same running scheme from Fletcher to their smaller back, which confuses a defense because you're like, if I'm getting a faster back, I'm thinking more outside zones, maybe tosses.
Hmm.
And then they have a great receiver in Tony that they will manufacture and figure out any way to get him the ball. And I think that's what you got to do if you're a talented team. It is almost like you look at the other sideline and be like, why was Ryan Day having such a hard time trying to figure out how to get
Hmm.
Jeremiah Smith the ball?
Yeah. So I know Ohio State's your team and they didn't win. But, I usually like to ask who gets the game ball, who's getting clowned, but nobody gets the game ball because you got your ass kicked. So,
Miami gets a game ball. I
yeah.
mean, their coaching staff gets a game ball. Carson Beck gets a game ball. Who's gonna
Fletcher.
get, who's gonna get clowned? That's an easy. That's the line. The trenches
Yeah.
get clowned. I mean,
Hmm.
it's hard pressed to find a good rep from the offense and defensive line when it comes in crucial moments. I mean, they couldn't block a soul on offense, and on defense, it's like you talk about these, Curry and all these, and Arvell Reese. They didn't do jack outside of one play that they were able to hit Beck on.
Hmm.
It's just that's not a recipe to win. Like when Ohio State's won, especially national championship or won playoff games, it's because they've had great pass rush. You think of the Bosa brothers that are always going to get there. You think of last year, Jack Sawyer and Tuta Mololo, whatever.
Hmm.
They got hard names. They were able to get to the quarterback. Couldn't get Carson Beck had a luxury condo in the backfield every time he dropped back to take a pass. Yeah,
Yeah,
luxury condo. He was relaxed.
he
Uh,
was.
so that's who gets clowned. I mean, there's a ton of it. You'll be hard pressed to find a good rep from anything to doing with Ohio State
Yeah.
through the film.
Jeremiah Smith is probably the only one
That's
that I
it.
could
Yeah, I
say.
mean,
Yeah.
but the thing is, he's just playing to his standard, and nobody else
Yeah.
could play to their standard. Carnell
Yeah.
Tate was scared to catch the ball a few times.
Yeah.
You got hit in the mouth, and you kind of turtle showed a little bit.
Yeah. No, definitely. Miami came out ready to play, being physical, and I just think y'all couldn't match it. Whatever
Yeah,
reason that was.
hey, that's a tough thing to do too. So all
Yeah.
all congratulations to
Yeah.
Miami's in order. I mean,
Hmm.
they had a plan and
I
they
mean, do you think?
executed it perfectly.
Yeah. I mean, do you think the part that they went into Texas A&M and beat them last week that kind of just boosted up their hype and just kind of had them ready?
If it did anything outside
Hmm.
of like kind of making things up that may or may not be true, is they kept their iron sharpened with that one. They had a
Mm.
tough, gritty game. There's a lot of adversity throughout the entire game,
Mm.
and when they were coming off of a really tough game, that they had to make a lot of
Mm.
tough third downs, so they had to get a lot of tough third down stops, and they were
Yeah.
made it. And listen, people forget too, they had 2 turnovers in the first like couple drives. Miami against Ohio State, Miami had a
Yeah.
couple of turnovers and played through it.
Hmm.
Didn't let it affect the game, and that's usually one of the bigger parts that determines the winner is who won the turnover battle, and they lost. So
Yeah, man, heartbreaker for y'all. I was not expecting that. ACC was looking like a joke this year, and Miami looks like they might steamroll
hey,
their way.
and you know what?
Yeah.
If we look back at older episodes,
Mm.
we were hitting the table for Miami. We were hitting
Yeah.
the table
Right.
for them, and hey,
Yeah.
they came in and proved it. Congratulations, Miami! You beat the hell out of Ohio State. I mean, it being a 10-point game is
Mhm.
not an indication of like how the game was. I mean, Ohio State made it close at the end. They got to 3, and then the one thing that they relied on all year is that number one defense, and they couldn't get close to a stop.
Yeah.
They couldn't even sniff it once. And that's
Mhm.
what I was worried about is what is Matt Patricia going to do? This was a whole bunch of a game. They were able to get a lot of bad taste out of their mouth. And what they did, they just ate that same pile of throw up back again. But let's move
Yeah, I
over to
think.
your Panthers.
Yeah, let's do it.
Bryce Young, 54 yards.
Hey, if you talk to the fans on Instagram, it's not his fault, okay? But yeah, it was just a piss poor for. I mean, that's probably one of the worst games of his career. I mean, there's no doubt in that. He just didn't look good. I mean, I know that the line had a couple struggles and stuff like that, but 54 yards is just inexcusable, man. Like I mean, you got to be sacked like 20 times for that to happen. I mean, just check down after check down after check down. Just did not look good, did not look comfortable. I wish we just ran the ball. I'm sick of just trying to let Bryce throw it. These past couple weeks, they're trying to let him do his thing, but man, let's just stick to our formula and run the ball. Yeah, oh goodness, it just baffles me how these Panthers fans, you know, they've said, they blame the receivers not getting open, they blame the O line, they blame J.C. Horn for the face mask at the end. It's like everything but Bryce. And then when you talk about Bryce, they get all upset. And it's just, man, he had 54 yards and a pick, 18 QBR. He had a horrible game. He played like shit.
And the thing is too, is when
Yeah.
you look at like at the game, you were in it for 45 minutes of the game. You were in it.
Yeah.
You're in a dogfight.
Yeah. No,
And
our defense kept us in it.
yeah, I mean, time of possession not bad. I mean, only 9 minutes. That makes
Yeah.
sense in a 27-10 game. Penalties are fine. Third down this is 1 of 11 on third down, 9 of 16 on, and they were batting like 60%, and you're batting fucking 5. Like it
Yeah.
ain't good. It is not good.
It wasn't, man. He was just a check down merchant all game. I mean, just check down after check down. I mean, he didn't take any shots really. I watched a little bit of the all 22. I didn't get through the whole thing yet, but there was chances for him and that's the thing is like guys are like, "Oh, the receivers aren't getting open," and "Oh, and like I say, you're supposed to throw them open," and they go, "Well, if he throws a bad pass and he gets picked off, you're going to blame him." And I'm just like, "Well, can he at least try? Can he at least like I can live with him throwing some passes and they don't, connect, but can you at least try? Don't just throw check downs and say, "Oh, I couldn't do anything." Come on, man. Throw the ball. Try to get it in somebody's hands. If they drop it, if you miss throw it, whatever, man. But just throwing check downs all game and then throwing a pick. I mean, it's just inexcusable. I mean, there's just nothing good about that game other than that rushing touchdown he had at the end. That's it.
And I watched that game. I was sitting here.
Mhm.
It was after, I swiftly got a nice belt to my rear end by Tyler Huntley and Derrick Henry.
Mhm.
This one kind of felt, going into it, we were like, we probably don't have that big of a chance, right? You don't have
Yeah.
that big a chance. Then it's close and it's tied at some points, and you're looking over and you're seeing cutaways to Miami and the Buccaneers, and Miami's putting it to them, and you're like, God, next week might not even matter. We
Mhm.
just keep playing this game. It's not going to matter. I mean, walk me through kind of how this game was for you, leading into the game, throughout the game, and then at the end.
Yeah, leading up, man, I thought we had a good chance. We were at home. We had a very foggy, it was a cold kind of day. So it was more of like a Seattle weather kind of game, honestly. Kind of felt like a home game for them, but our stadium was rocking. Everybody was there. Man, we just couldn't. I mean, the run game was working. Rico was averaging 5.5 yards a carry, something like that, and he only got 12 carries. So it's just, the offense struggled mightily as they have all year. When Bryce has to throw the ball 25 plus times a game, it's usually not a good thing. So man, I just, it just takes all the faith because Bryce had I think like three, four. I think 4 out of his last 5 games, he had a QBR above 70. Played pretty solid. And I'm like, okay, maybe he's turning around. And then he just does this and basically has like the worst game of his career. And it's just like, man, what in the world is going on? I don't know what to say, man. I mean, it's just
I mean,
so streaky.
he went 14 of 24, obviously 54 yards,
Uh,
58.3 completion rating, and the longest completion of 8 yards. When he's coming off of games of explosive longs of
uh,
34, 34, 43, 29.
mhm.
Were the shots taken down the field? Oh,
I saw him throw one, and it was a pass interference on Coker. But other than that, man, I didn't really see much. And I know a lot of people talk about, oh, he's got like the best deep ball like rating in the league or whatever. But he also has the smallest sample size. He's got the lowest yards per throw in the NFL. I think it's 6 yards per throw or something like that. And it's just I know people want to throw that stat out like, oh, he's because people are always like, oh, let Dave needs to let Bryce throw deep, and I'm like, that's on Bryce. He's got to decide where to throw it. You got multiple receivers running multiple depths, and I know some, you have a primary, but that changes on whatever coverage is shown. So he has to pick out what that is and take some shots. And like I said, just try. Even if it's a one-on-one kind of down the field tight window, make it. But I don't think he has confidence in himself, man.
yeah, it's a double-edged sword because, Dave has to call the plays that
Hmm.
welcome the explosiveness and when
Yeah.
taking a shot. But when you get the right coverage, I mean, 'cause I know the whole gimmick coming around was, oh, Seattle played a lot more zone than the man and we expected.
Yeah.
Who
That's not an
cares?
excuse. Yeah, that's another thing that was pissing me off is everyone's like, oh, they were running man instead of zone, and they thought this is not Pop Warner, man. This is the NFL. If you can't beat man coverage, like get the fuck out of here. Like that's just the lamest excuse I've ever heard. I mean, these people are really trying to justify it by like, oh, they ran man instead of zone. Well, boo hoo, boo freaking. I think Bryce does better against man coverage. I'm pretty sure if we look up the stats, he does better against man coverage from what I've seen. So I mean, that's just the piss poor excuse, man.
It is.
I don't
It
want to
is.
hear
I
it.
mean, it is. Well, they played either more man or more zone. What'd you do? Make an agreement with Mike McDonald
Yeah.
over there, where it's like,
Yeah.
oh, sorry, you are gonna lose now. You have to miss an extra point now since you started
Mhm.
running 3 zone plays, and I wasn't
Mhm.
aware of that. You're exactly right. It's the damn NFL.
Yeah.
Grow up. You know,
Mhm.
you should be ready for both. And for that to even be an excuse is just laughable. Like this
Yeah.
is like out of all the potential excuses you could have came up with,
Mhm. And
that
it's
we weren't expecting that much zone.
uh-huh.
Come
And
on.
yeah, and the funny thing is, man, you look on Panthers Instagram, there's so many people defending that. Like, oh, they were in man instead of zone. It's not Bryce's fault. And it's just like you guys need to stop. This is ridiculous. I mean, I've never heard such a bad excuse in my life, man. That's piss poor pathetic, man. So you're telling me if everybody just runs man coverage against us, we're just hopeless. Our life is just it's over. Boo hoo for us. Oh, we can't beat man coverage. I guess Bryce is just not his fault. Like, what?
That doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't make any sense.
I
It's
can't
like you don't know what
I
the
can't get
defense is
behind
like.
it.
That's the whole point. Is like the defense throws you curveballs and you have to adjust. And if it's like, oh, they're running man, all right, they're running man. Let's do something else. And I'm sure they tried and it didn't work, and they want to blame everybody but Bryce. But no, that's a piss poor excuse. I don't want to hear it. It was just ridiculous. And I'm sure it caught him off guard, but still, you got to be able to adjust and make it work with what you got.
Yeah, because it wasn't like something brand new coming out of half when they had played
Yeah.
a ton of man in the first half, and then the
Uh-huh.
second half, a ton of zones, and maybe you waste a drive or two because you're not exactly sure how you want to
Uh-huh.
attack. Now, this was like the whole game. This is all 60 minutes.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
And it's just that's where you look at Dave and was like, all right, man, what are we
Hmm.
doing here? But then you also
Yeah.
have to execute, because this is a great topic I want to get into is I am sick and tired, and I know we're going to hear it till the end of days of football. Sick and tired of hearing coaches at a post-game press conference saying, I got to take the accountability's on me. Like, I take responsibility. And it's like, okay, I get it. This coach talk. These press conferences are not for entertainment. They are there because they have to, but because of the NFL. They got it's like boo, and
Just rah rah.
you're getting through it.
Just
However,
rah rah.
however, was there needs to be a level of transparency when it comes to a game like in this Ohio State Michigan game, where I think Ryan Day called a good game and the players played bad. Was this
Yeah.
one of those games where Dave Canales called good plays and the players stunk?
I think so. I think we gave Bryce an opportunity to let it rip down the field. For him to make some plays. Like I said, I didn't get into the all 22, like the whole thing, but I watched probably the good first quarter, and there was opportunities, man. Like he had opportunities to throw the ball more than 8 yards. So it's I would like to see us run the ball more. But that's neither here nor there. It's just Bryce did not execute. He did not execute. He did not give his guys a chance. I mean, he threw the ball 24 times and you come up with 54 yards. Like that's just piss poor. Check downs, playing scared, not trusting yourself, not trusting your guys. And again, watching the film, I don't know if he just can't see, he just doesn't throw over the middle. I mean, guys over the middle all the time. I mean, we run a lot of hammer concepts with that guy coming over the middle and he just doesn't see him or doesn't throw it. I don't know what it is, but it's really hurting
For
his
the
game.
for the ones at home that may not know, what's a hammer concept?
You basically have two guys on one side. The guy on the inside is going to run a quick slant, probably like a 5 yard slant, and then the guy on the outside is going to run a in, probably like a 10 yard in, and basically it kind of stops that middle or outside linebacker, and he has to choose either that curl or that in route, and whichever one he stops on is. Or whichever one he goes towards is where you throw it to. So it ends up looking like a hammer. So, you got one receiver, cut back, other, you know,
You're
that's
trying to
basically what it
yeah,
is.
you're trying to take up a bunch. You got to get the eyes on all different
Mhm.
areas of the field, and we look at great teams in the playoffs this year that are going
Mhm.
to be playing that love throwing the middle of the field. I mean, the biggest one that
Mhm.
comes to mind is San Francisco 49ers, and
Mhm.
they don't have a wealth of talent at the receiver position. Not as much as
Mhm.
I would say the the Panthers have, I think Ted
Mhm.
McMillan would be walk in the 49ers wide receiver room, be instantly the best receiving option. But you look at him and it's like, God, why can't we throw over the middle of the field? And it's did Bryce Young, has he been getting a lot of passes knocked down when he throws across the middle of the field? Is that why he's just hesitant to do it? Because that creates tip
Mhm.
picks, or you just get down. I
Yeah,
mean,
I think a lot of his first 2 years, a lot of his interceptions kinda came over the middle, whether he can't see or what. Because I think, that's why he stands so far back in the pocket so he can kinda get it over the line. Because 'cause I've seen him try to throw it close, and it usually doesn't work out. I've seen him hit his own lineman in the back of the head, trying to throw it and stuff like that, so, I just think that's a size thing that's really hurting him and really hurting us, because he's only limited to, like, where he can throw on the field, unless that lane opens up in the middle, kinda like where you see offensive linemen do sometimes, then he really can't get it there. So he relies on throwing lanes, and it's just he can't throw over the top, which is very concerning. But,
yeah,
it's
well, he's
just
been trying to, which has been a good sign the last few weeks. Is he's actually
mhm,
giving like an effort to layer his throws, getting
mhm,
them deeper down the field. What was
mhm,
in this game? Because in this game, it was a close game, pretty much all the way through. The score does not indicate how close the game actually was.
mhm.
What was the play or so that kind of broke the Campbell's back on this game and kind of sent it into a complete tailspin?
I think it was the 2 things. I think the interception that Bryce threw that put Seattle in our territory, which they scored a touchdown on, I believe. And then we had an interception. Mike Jack got an interception against his former team. He was pumped up. Got one, and then Chuba fumbles the next play on their own 20-yard line, gives it right back to him in their red zone. So 2 costly turnovers. Seattle had a turnover, but we turned it over right back. So basically just set them up. I mean, we basically moved the ball downfield for them because Mike Jack caught it in the end zone, so it was a touchback for us, and then we fumbled it. So they basically had a 40-yard pass thanks to us. But
That was hilarious. You basically moved
yeah,
the ball down the field for him.
yeah. But like you said, the game we were in it the whole way because I think in the fourth quarter is when he scored a touchdown, and it turned to 10-17, and we ended up being only down 7, and then Seattle got a field goal. And then, that we were down, and then JC had that face mask on like a 3rd and 8, which gave them the first down to move the ball down the
A
field, and
lot of people were
that
mad
was a
at JC after the game for like laughing
mhm,
in the locker room little area when he was
yeah,
getting interviewed.
yeah. I mean, I don't know what it is. I mean, he's a good corner. I mean, I don't think he's just kind of, when that stuff kind of happens, you just kind of brush it off and go to the next week because we got to worry about next week now. We lost Seattle. It happens. He had Njigba locked up the whole game except for like right at the end there at the fourth quarter, and he had that face mask, but. I see a lot of people blaming JC. Oh, it's JC's fault. We lost the game because of the face mask and this. And it's like, man, that's one play. That's one play. We couldn't even move the ball. Like you're concerned about. You act like if we got the ball back, we would have went down the field and scored or made it a game. I mean, maybe, but I just don't see it.
I mean, it would have meant more if you were actually getting any sort
Mhm.
of offensive production that was
Yeah.
threatening another touchdown, or you were tied and not trying to give
Mhm.
up a field goal, and that puts it in there.
Uh-huh.
When those plays matter when you're actually fully entrenched in the game. When you're kind of just hanging from behind a little bit and just need a
Mhm.
big break, it
Yeah.
doesn't exactly help. But like you said, let's move on to the next game. But before you do that, a little beer break.
Uh-uh.
All people at home, I know you're thirsty.
Water break.
I know you're thirsty out there. You either hydrate or drink beer, drink whiskey, drink vodka.
What? Yeah.
And Tampa Bay, they're coming off a loss against Miami,
They are.
team that you beat.
Yeah.
You guys beat.
They've been trying to help us out, man. And
Atlanta helping you out too, beating the Rams.
dude, if we make the playoffs like that, this I don't know what to say,
You get the
man.
backdoor playoff cover like Green Bay backdoor playoff cover.
Crazy. I mean, and it's interesting too because the NFL's got us playing on Saturday at 4:30. So if we lose, we still had the Falcons game on Sunday to watch and hope for. But I really don't want to sit there and cheer for the Falcons. But I will if I have to. I've done it once this year. I'll do it again.
Well, the thing is, cause I would catch clips of that Miami game, and it kind of
hmm
looks like the last month Baker
hmm
Mayfield just stinks at football.
I think he's still hurt, man. I
Yeah,
think they rushed him back from that injury, and he's just not there yet. Mike Evans is pissed to
I mean they're
hell.
giving whoever wants to score touchdowns gets to score touchdown against his Tampa Bay defense. I mean
Mhm.
Quinn Ewers just ripped them apart, and that
Yeah.
it was his second start, and he was just ripping them apart. And Mike Evans pissed off.
Hmm.
Every time they pan over to him, he's mad about something. I think the thing about
Yeah.
the big key going into this game, Saturday game, which I hate. NFL should only be played on Sundays and Mondays. So I hate
Hmm.
Thursday night games. Screw them. Don't play them. Get rid of them. Because it's still college football season. I don't know why there's. So one thing Dan Lanning hit spot on is through the national championship, college should be played every Saturday.
Yeah.
You can't. I don't know why the NFL gives up, because then it makes Sunday so much more boring. You're out 2 games.
Hmm.
I guess that you would normally be out anyway. But yeah, little Saturday prime times window for you. I think this is the first Panthers Saturday game in a few years, if ever, right?
I like that all that I can remember. I mean, I don't know when they started doing the Saturday games, but it ain't been long.
It's been a couple years going on now. But I
Yeah, I
think the
don't think we've ever had
big
one.
thing is you're going into Tampa Bay. You already got one on them, so you proven you can beat them. The standard is that you can beat them. You got to get on this team early,
Hmm.
and kind of try and put them away early. I just don't know if the Panthers have the firepower to do it
Yeah.
when it comes to getting up quick on like getting a stop and a score, stopping a score, stopping a score, turnover and a score,
Uh-huh.
and just stacking them. I think it's just a long played out game.
Yeah, it could be. I mean, I think our defense creating turnovers is what helps us win. The more possessions we have, I mean, that's any team, but especially for us, man. When we don't have a turnover, we're pretty lackluster as far as moving the ball, because we need as many opportunities as we can on our offense, because our offense is stagnant as can be. I mean, unless we're just feeding Rico and Chuba, which I hope we do this weekend. Unless they're trying to make it like a prove it game for Bryce, because this might be a big game for Bryce. If they put it on his shoulders and he crumbles. I don't know what. It's man, how are we in this far here and we're still like, I don't know. No.
It's not like we've been talking about it all year. Is
Hmm.
is this the guy that's going to lead you forward? Because it's games like this that you need your
Hmm.
quarterback to play at
Hmm.
his best.
Yeah.
It is a requirement, and there is nothing the last few weeks that are pointing towards him going to be playing the best that he can, like
Uh-huh.
Miami level good, where
Uh-huh.
he's just lighting them up. There's
Uh-huh.
nothing points in that direction that he's going to have a great game. But NFL is a week to week league, so maybe.
Yeah. No, it definitely is. It just depends on, if Bryce can get confidence early. Hopefully we can establish the running game. Like I've said, complementary football starts with the run game for us. If we pound the rock, make the team scared of the run, we
Run
can make
the
some shape.
damn ball.
Run it, quit letting Bryce trying to put the team on his back. He can if it's in the fourth quarter, like he does. He does that well. But let's just stick to our game plan. Just run the ball, kill the time of possession, give Baker less chances. I think Baker will make a mistake and give up the ball. We just have to play bend but don't break and make sure the offense can keep the ball away from him as long, kind of like we did with y'all against y'all. Run, 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 run. Create some turnovers. You know, keep the ball out of their hands, and I think we'll be fine.
Yeah, because all signs are pointing towards you guys getting another crack at Seattle. If all the playoff alignments align the way they do, you'd be getting another crack at it.
Oh
Or
no.
not Seattle. No, it wouldn't be. It'd be San Francisco. I'm sorry.
Oh.
That's what it's most likely looking like. But I think you're exactly right, because you're getting some really good play from Derek Brown and I think it's
Hmm.
Ashawn Robinson. Is he the other?
Yep.
They're getting some really good play from those two guys up front, so you should be able to stop the run,
Yeah.
or contain
Nick's
it, because they're going to want to run
your
the ball a lot.
yeah, your boy Nick Scorton had a great game last game, man. He was all over the
I
place.
love Nick Scorton.
Yeah, so hopefully he can keep that going and create some pressure, because our pass rush really needs it, man. And our run defense was looking pretty lackluster last time, and Bucky Irving's a good back, so hopefully we can contain him, man. And Bryce will throw down the field when needed.
That's what you kind of just got to lean on, is can
Mhm.
Bryce Young win the game when needed,
Mhm.
kind of down the stretch.
Yeah, and the funny thing, I want to bring this up. I
Yeah,
was
let it rip.
I like to argue with people on Instagram. So I was arguing with this dude or something, and he was talking about the play calling, and he was like, "Well, Dave's just calling swing passes all game long." I'm like, "Dude, those are check downs. These are not designed like swing passes to the running back. Like if it's a screen, yeah, but check downs is not a design play. Like some people think that like these check downs are designed, and I'm like, what in the fuck are y'all smoking? What are y'all smoking? It's crazy,
Yeah,
but
and I completely agree with you there.
yeah."
So I just pulled up playoff machine here so we can we can what's it called? Take a look at it here. Because I kind of make up what I think is gonna be pretty cool here. So let's say Panthers win, right? Great, they're in. I think if San Francisco wins, they become the 1 seed. And then we put Falcons up there just in case, it's backdoor
Oh
cover,
wow.
backdoor
Oh
cover.
dang.
'Cause I think they've
I
been
didn't
playing good.
realize. I didn't realize San Fran was going to be the one
Yeah,
seed.
they controlled their destiny. The last 2 weeks of just not having to ever play a road game until
What
the
if
Super.
Seattle? What if Seattle beats San Fran? What are
Then
they?
they're back to the 1 seed.
Oh, we get the Rams. Oh.
So everything, but yeah, but let's say if it's here, if Seattle wins and the Cardinals for some reason win,
Mhm.
maybe because Sean McVay's known to do this, knowing he's going to have to go on the road one way or another, go ahead and put the
Yeah.
starters down. That could
Mhm.
go from them. Well, they're going to be playing pretty much either the Eagles. So
Mhm.
they'll want to win that game. they'll,
Yes.
they'll want to win that
Yeah.
game.
I mean, yeah, I'm sure they'd rather come and play us than the Eagles at home.
Yeah.
I think just because of the football team and stuff. So
Yeah. So I think
either.
I'll give it this one to San Fran just because
Mhm.
it's a home divisional game. You
Yeah.
switch them, right? Minnesota's probably going to beat Green Bay. I just put it up there because we're just not playing anybody with nothing to play for.
Yeah.
We signed when we get into the Packers talk. I'm talking about how many players were just
Wait,
signed.
where's the Packers in the playoff picture?
We're
Oh, there they
seven.
are,
Yeah,
seven seed.
we're
I was.
locked in at seven. Locked in at
Yeah.
seven.
Okay.
I think let's say just give the Rams this win for now. Let's say the Lions beat the Bears for that because even if the Bears win, they're stuck in at the 2 seed.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're stuck in at the 2 seed no matter what. With that loss, they're stuck in at the 2 seed.
Mhm.
Oh, I didn't put the Eagles here. And if the Eagles win and the Bears
Same.
lose, then they swap here. But the Eagles aren't playing any of their starters either this game, so gives a chance for Washington to win. But even if the Bears win and the Eagles win, it still stays the same. However, we'll look at the games that matter to you since we're talking about the Panthers now. It's looking like you might get another rematch with if Seattle loses, you'll be playing Seattle, right?
Yeah.
If Seattle wins, you'll be playing the Rams. Now,
Yep.
yeah, and if the Cardinals beat the Rams, you'll play the Niners. So you're
Mhm.
playing NFC North or AFC or NFC West opponents.
Yeah. Yeah. Out of all of those, I'd probably want San Fran
I think so too.
just because of the turnovers we were able to create last time. I think we can do that again. And they just didn't look that good, to me. We should have won that game. I don't know how we didn't, to be honest.
I
Yeah, it
mean,
was just.
geez, Brock Purdy
I think.
gave you the ball 3 straight times and did nothing with it.
Yeah, if we play San Francisco at home, because that was an away game too that we played, and we were neck and neck with them. I think we got a shot. I'd rather not play Seattle or the Rams again. Just because I know they're two good teams and they're gonna bring it. And if we don't, then it's not gonna look good for us. Because I would really just hate for us to get stomped out
Yeah,
in the wild card opener.
it happens, but especially this year, especially with the Panthers, where the expectation certainly wasn't winning the division. You kind of knew it was you were hoping to kind of be around Tampa Bay, kind of be let's try and compete for it, let alone
Yeah,
lead it for multiple weeks.
yeah. I was
Um,
thinking we could at least compete. So
I
and we
think
are.
at worst case scenario, if you just have a good performance, even in a loss, it's
Yeah.
still a win of a season. It's still a step in the right direction.
It is, yeah, because I think we're kind of figuring out, the identity of the team. Dave wanted to be run first, and we are that now. I think we're probably going to lose Rico, which is going to be a big hit. So we're going to have to find another back to complement Shuba unless ETN steps up. But yeah, man, I think we're heading in the right direction. Tampa's fallen down, but also Atlanta and the New Orleans, man, they're starting to heat up. So. I think our division might be competitive again next year. Because this year is just
Yeah,
good God. Yeah.
the Falcons and Saints were a win away 2 weeks
Hmm.
ago from being in playoff contention. One singular
Yeah.
win from
Yeah.
being there. Now, when we final look at this, upcoming game on Saturday, who's the players you're keen on watching that need to make a
Hmm.
play, make or play at a high level that's going to help secure this Panthers win for you?
Definitely the defense, man. Defense is going to have to create turnovers, give our offense more chances to get the ball. And I think that's going to be the main thing. If our pass rush can get there, if Derek Brown can stop the run, Mike Jack or JC, somebody get a pick. Trevin Wallace is out now for the year, unfortunately. So that's a big hit for us, in that
That guy's
interior.
so good. I love
He
watching. He
is.
plays with so much fire. He's one of those guys you just God, how?
Yeah. Yeah, at the start of the year, him and Roseboom were struggling, and then they switched the play calling to Trevin and let Roseboom play, and our defense was lights out. But now that he's out, Roseboom's calling the plays again, and it's okay, but it's not as dominant as it was with Wallace. I think that he just he stuffs the run. He can get to the quarterback. He's just a solid linebacker, and that's a big hit. Especially we're really deep in our linebackers right now, so. I don't think Isaiah Simmons is going to play ever, but
You don't want
we
him
picked him
to.
up.
You don't want him
Yeah,
to.
I was like, everyone was so hyped about, oh, we picked up Isaiah Simmons, and then just like, I don't even know where he's at.
When you watch him play, if he gets
hmm
on the field,
hmm
he's fast. He's big,
Yeah,
but he will not tackle.
yeah,
He will.
that's
He
crazy.
will not. He's a pair we share in common with. Isaiah
Yeah,
Simmons on the Panthers and Packers. Now, my keys to victory for in this game is one. You got to get up quick on them, or you got to keep it close the whole game.
hmm
And just play that bend but don't break defense like you were talking about, and just wait for Baker to make a mistake.
yeah,
That's the thing about these like high like volatility quarterbacks or high
hmm
variance quarterbacks is they're going to give you chances. They're because
yeah,
they're going to try and take their chances down the field because that's one big difference between Bryce and Baker is Baker's going to let that thing loose.
yeah.
And he has no problems with it, but he could still be that shoulder could still be really messing with him. Right now, and that
I,
could work in your favor. You never want any go against a team where everybody's all banged up. You
hmm
always want to beat the best. But in a game that's putting you in the playoffs, it's not a
hmm
bad thing to have in your favor.
No, definitely not. And I think it's going to be, can we get them frustrated early? Can we make them make a mistake early? Can we stop them early? Because we know that this team is on a downward spiral, and Mike Evans is going to snap any second. So if we can get them struggling, out the gate and get them frustrated and mad, and I think we can win this game. Unfortunately, it's an away game, so they'll have the home field advantage. But man, I think this is going to be a battle. I think it's going to be a battle. I think it's going to come down to defense and run game. Who can run the ball and who can play defense? Because both of these quarterbacks have been struggling. So it's going to come down to run game and defense.
Playoffs
Being
start now.
physical.
I mean, it's kind of been
Yeah.
playing playoff football the last few weeks, but in all essence, playoff football is
hmm
this week, this Saturday at
hmm
4:30
Yeah.
America time.
And it's also, I'm thinking, God forbid we lose to Tampa Bay and then Atlanta wins, so we win the division. How demoralizing is that for us that we didn't win it upright? Or like, are you thinking that we don't deserve to be here? So it's a lot riding on this game. I think this is a winner take all game because like if we lose and then Atlanta wins, we get in the playoffs. I just think our mindset is not going to be in the right place.
It gets a little tainted. I mean, I think the Packers might be dealing with something along those lines now, where they didn't get a win to get in. They got enough
Mm-hmm.
to just get in because other teams stink
Mm-hmm.
more than they do. But to move over to that game, I just got a text from I got a buddy that lives in Green Bay. He just sent me a text. Derrick Henry just scored another touchdown. He he just shows up. He just comes once or twice a day up to 1265 Lombardi Avenue. Just go ahead and just runs in. I mean, the Packers don't have any use of the Lambeau Field till next September, so he's just doing wind sprint, scoring touchdowns.
hmm
But all jokes aside, he did his number on the Green Bay Packers on Saturday night. And I know talking about this a lot of days after. I did put up a video of my kind of rant on, I think it was Monday or Tuesday.
hmm
Put up a rant about it because there wasn't anything good to say. I mean, Malik Willis, weapon. Absolute weapon. So comfortable back there. And for him to play as good as he did and the offense have the output that they had, the defense just forgot that they had to play NFL football today.
Yeah.
And it was disappointing.
Yeah, definitely. And speaking of your defense, picked up Trayvon Diggs. What do you like about that?
Yeah, I love it. Why not? I mean,
Mm,
everybody's saying, oh, he's got a pass rate. I don't care what his statistical percentage were as with
mm,
the Dallas Cowboys. They have Matt Eberflus as their defensive coach. That guy
mm.
stinks. All right. I don't care what he did over there.
Mhm,
It means more to what he can do here. That I'm looking forward to. I'm not looking back at I only take the good things. I ain't gonna take no negatives from it.
mhm,
You just depress yourself if you take negatives at everything. He was a 2-time Pro Bowler. The fans liked him, so he got voted into the Pro Bowl.
uh-huh.
And he's played well, and he can catch. One thing the Packers corners can't do, catch. So give me a guy that has great ball skills. He's best friends with Micah Parsons. I think this is probably going to be a longer term deal because I don't know why they claimed him. So they're paying him like $500,000, and which is just basically game check for 1 week at least, because he's on the hook for $15 million next year. But I think that all can get worked out. And if he plays good, next week, because I don't expect him to play this week. So if he plays well next week and throughout the playoffs, if they go on a little bit of a run, I fully expect them to give him more years on a contract going in the next, because after that game, the Packers lost 4 more players to season-ending injuries, which were 2 corners. They lost 2 corners.
Yeah.
They lost Nate Hobbs, who they signed in the offseason, and then Kamal Haddon, who they brought in when they benched Carrington Valentine. Both those guys, done.
Yeah. Do you think the Packers GM made a little side deal with Jerry? Like, hey, man, why don't you release Trevon and we'll slide some cash your way?
I saw the one thing I did see was like, all right, ending finalization of the Cowboys and Micah Parsons trade. Packers got Micah Parsons and Trayvon Diggs.
Yeah, seriously.
And the Dallas Cowboys got 2 first-round picks and Kenny Clark, who they're going to release and be back on the team next year for the Packers.
Yeah, I just don't really understand the logic of releasing Trevon Diggs, like especially if they still have to pay him.
It wasn't. I think it was more of a business move. Like they're like affording him the opportunity to go play for a contender because they're not going to bring him back next year because he has no more guarantee. He had no more guaranteed money on his deal. So it was more of like all right, there was a bunch of shit that went down on Christmas. We'll do right by you, release you, and we hope you do well in your future endeavors.
Yeah.
And put him on the claims list. I was just surprised because he got claimed, so he fell all the way to the Packers at like I think 26th in the waiver wire list.
You guys play the Vikings this week, right?
Yeah.
Isn't he brothers with Stephon Diggs?
Yeah, but Stephon plays for the Patriots.
Oh yeah, that's right.
He might be going to jail.
I always, for some reason, man, I get Stephon Diggs and Jamar Chase. Not Jamar Chase. Jesus Christ, bro. All these receivers I get mixed up. Justin Jefferson, man. I get him and Stephon Diggs
both
mixed
are
up
Vikings.
for some reason.
Yeah, Diggs used to play for the Vikings. I used to hate playing against him back in 2015, 16, 17. It was just thorn in my side playing against Stephon Diggs in Minnesota.
Yeah, and the thing I've always heard about Trevon Diggs is he's a very interception, like he always tries to create turnovers, like he will get burned trying to make a play on defense,
which I'll take that. I'll take that because that's what Packer cornerbacks are not doing. They're not taking chances. They're just trying to stay within the stratosphere of wherever the receiver is. They're not taking any risk. And Jeff Hafley, he coaches that, and he's coached some of the best corners. He coached Richard Sherman. He coached Darrelle Revis. He's coached a bunch of great corners. And a change of scenery can be great for a guy who's clearly talented. The talent has been there. The production is there. But when you play in a bad scheme that just doesn't fit you, and people say, oh, they run the same scheme. Yeah, but same scheme, not the same players.
Yeah.
And maybe when you're in a culture that's so personified like Dallas, everything just gets too big. Because you're dealing with the marketing, multi-million-dollar mansion that is the Dallas Cowboys and everything that comes with playing with them. Now you can go to Green Bay and just focus on football. I mean, Michael Parsons already tweeted out today. Can't verbatim text it, put it up, but he's basically he's in a better place than he is now. He's going to be much better. You're going to see him play back to the same standard because where football matters.
Do you think? Oh, geez, what was I going to ask? I just had a stump in my head.
Well, I think if he plays well, he's going to they're going to give him another deal because you can work out that $15 million and get it pushed off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now I remember what I was going to ask. Is Trevon, is he going to be the 1, 2, 3 corner? What do you think?
I mean, he's definitely going to be the opposite of somebody. I think you have to start him because what's going on the field is bad. You got to change up the dynamics. I want it to be Keyshawn Nixon to go ahead and pack his sorry ass bags and leave town. Just go return kicks. Go. What made you make your money? Which was returning kicks. Take your ass and go return punts and return kicks and what kept you in the league. Because cornerback isn't what kept Keyshawn Nixon in the league. His play at corner. No. It's what he does with the ball in his hands. But But I think he'll
So
start probably over Valentine.
you think you guys are locked in the 7th seed,
Yeah,
right?
or they
No
could put
matter
him at
what.
the slot. They could play him in the slot on some plays as well. But you don't want to take Javon Bullard off the field. So it'll be interesting what Halfley cooks up. But now he has another piece that he can rely on. That's not because it's better bringing in Trayvon Diggs, paying him $500,000 is better than taking some guy off somebody else's practice squad.
Yeah.
And just filling them in there because the Packers made a plethora of moves. They signed like 5 people to the practice squad, put 4 on injured, like season-ending injured reserve, added 3 to the active roster. I mean, it was just a blockbuster day of who are these people? Moves, and then Trayvon Diggs, who I texted you as soon as it happened that he's going to be a Green Bay Packer. I mean, I think the rest of all the other teams up to him are like, even if we put a claim in, he's probably not going to come here. Same thing as like they didn't want to do the same thing with Darius Slay, where the Bills picked him up and he was just like, "No, I'm good. I'd rather retire. I'm good. I'd rather retire than play here."
Yeah, he's going to come out and play, but I'm not sure. Do you think they're going to have their starters out there since you guys are locked in the 7th seed? Or?
With how hurt they are, it's hard to take all your starters off because you still have to field 48 players on 48 of your 53 have to play. That's why they made a lot. They brought in old Panthers quarterback. Desmond Ridder is now going in the pantheon of
Falcons.
Yeah, was he with the Falcons or did he? I thought he had a stint with the Panthers for a little bit. No. Okay.
Nope.
Well, he's now in the pantheon of great backup quarterbacks that are going to show themselves looking pretty good. He's there, and then because Jordan Love still is not at a concussion protocol, but he's a full participant. I assume he's going to make concussion protocol in the next few days. Malik Willis hasn't thrown because he had an injured shoulder, so he's not throwing, so he probably won't play. I don't think Jordan Love plays. I don't think Malik Willis plays. I don't think Josh Jacobs plays. I don't think even Emmanuel Wilson plays. Christian Watson won't play. Romeo Dobbs won't play. Jaden Reed won't play.
Is Diggs playing?
Yeah, no, I don't think so. No,
he needs to learn the playbook. He'll give him another week or 2.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if he's activated and he gets in there a few series just to kind of work with the team, but because I mean it's a meaningless game. It's a glorified preseason game.
Yeah,
I just think you anybody that would be a devastating loss should be in street clothes. But if there's some positions like the defensive line, you have to figure it out up there.
Yeah,
Coop and Quay shouldn't play. Maybe you have an argument for Isaiah McDuffie doesn't play. But there's a ton of young guys that Green Bay has on their roster now that he doesn't get to play a lot that need those reps and kind of just figure out trying to maybe create some situational plays that Matt LaFleur and Halfley can go through during this game, kind of manufacture it up a little bit so it's not just a clocking out 60 minutes because we're going to be in Minnesota. And it's going to be hilarious because Minnesota's going to be, if Minnesota wins, they're going to be, all their fans going to be talking about how we split with the Packers last year, this year. No, you didn't. We forfeited the last game because you are irrelevant to us.
Yeah, definitely, man. Well, luckily for y'all, the game doesn't matter, so you guys can just kind of rest up.
I'm not even gonna wear jersey that game. I'm a big jersey guy. I'm just being my pajamas.
There you go.
Stress free. But I want to show you.
Preseason game.
Yeah, I want to show you what I hope is the path for the Packers in the playoffs, and I've been talking about it. It's like I wouldn't have to go to therapy ever again if this happened.
Packers Panthers NFC Championship.
That would be fun. Is this so? I want the Niners to win. And I think nothing else matters here of the rest of the games because I want to go to Chicago. I'll go to Chicago. I want to whoop Chicago's ass. Then I want to go to San Francisco. I want to whoop San Francisco's ass. And then the Panthers and Packers can meet in the NFC North or NFC Championship right there.
Yeah. Caleb Williams too busy dating that OnlyFans model.
Oh boy.
You hear about that?
Nope, that's news to me.
Yeah, he's dating some.
But I want to go whoop their ass because the Bears have been talking about they swept us or something this year because of the loss in Lambeau. They just conveniently forgot about. Just gone. And then San Francisco's always been a big thorn in my hip for the playoffs. I need to get that monkey off my back. We've beaten them in season, but they've just had our way since 13, 12, 11, where they've just been whooping our ass in the playoffs. So I want to get that monkey off my back, and then whoever we see, because in my mind, that's a good path. That's a really good path to the NFC Championship. Get to play against two teams with really bad defenses when you have an amazing offense. You know, and if you can just get a couple stops, it's as bad as this Packers defense has been playing. They're getting stops. You know, there's not a lack of stops. I mean, unless the running back's name is Derrick Henry, they're getting stops. Which
for sure.
That guy, there's a reason why he's like a top 5 running back. And I knew that we were going to get his best shot when he didn't play that well the week prior.
Yeah, Derrick Henry is a monster, man. I would not want to tackle him.
And it was guys throwing themselves at him too. Wasn't even trying to like get up on. They were just, I'll just try it over here. But that was kind of a watch. It just sucked that 3 of the 7 losses, maybe it was 4 of the 7 losses came at home. Games you're supposed to win.
That's rough.
And the Packers have been playing great on the road.
Yeah.
So I don't mind taking this road approach to the playoffs.
Yeah.
Because you're playing against a very inexperienced team in the playoffs. I mean, the Bears haven't been in the playoffs since 2018.
First year head coach.
Yeah, so you can that should be a win. Because I think we whooped their ass in both games until 2 minutes left in the fourth quarter of the second one in Chicago. And Chicago's not a tough place to play. It's not a tough place to play. And then you go to San Fran, which Kyle Shanahan got your number. Let's go whoop their ass. I mean, their defense ain't great. They can't rush the passer, neither can the Packers, but they especially can't rush the passer. And I think this defense like lines up well for a back like Christian McCaffrey. You know, when you have the speed at linebacker, but the Packers didn't have the physicality at linebacker to take down Derrick Henry. Well, that's why there's only one Derrick Henry. And a guy like Christian McCaffrey, Edge Cooper, and Quay can eat that shit up on. That's my path.
Definitely.
I want to see it happen. I don't want anything else. That's all I want. And I need, Drew, this last month of football to just the suffering to end.
Yeah.
I just have not experienced joy since December 6th. Because then after that, Micah Parsons tore his knee. Then every damn Packer player that could get injured got injured. Loss after loss after loss.
Ohio State lost.
I need a break. I need a break from just football disaster. Just give me a break for one. Maybe this is all leading up to this great playoff run for the Packers.
Yeah. Hey man, that was last year. You look forward now. Technically, if you think about it.
Well, yeah, it was. It is. I'm on to it.
Yeah, it was last. Yeah, we're on a new year.
Yeah, I'm on a new year for coaches keeping players accountable when it is clearly like that player's not playing well. When it's clear as it was in last night game, Ohio State game. And then my second thing is I don't know when it started. But I want it to end. Is when somebody makes like some sort of sports statement, some football statement, and then like on X or something, and he's talking about like, Bryce Young X, Y, or Z. And if somebody came and was like, as a Packers fan, and then thinking whatever the dumb shit they're getting ready to say, like them being that team fan, validates it. It doesn't. You just sound stupid. I want that shit. I don't know when it started, but I hate it, and it needs to go away. Because it does. I don't care what team you are. Your opinion is your opinion. Like that's fine. Nobody cares what the fan of your team are coming from. X fan. Yeah. Like you're not in like the development of the coaching staff. Like I take a difference. Like as a Packers coach, I see this, or as a former NFL coach or NFL player, in my perspective there, I respect that. But you as a fan, as a Panthers fan, I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
Like the next sentence, I'll read something like that and I'll immediately stop if somebody starts with coming from a Bears fan or a Packers fan or an Eagles fan. I just stop reading because I'm like, I don't want to read the dumb shit that's getting ready to come up next.
Yeah, I think it's just a scapegoat for, if whoever doesn't agree with her opinion, it's just like, well, I'm
it's like saying with all due respect. It's like saying with all due respect, but I'm about to be disrespectful.
Yeah, exactly. Right. Yeah.
It's just, why? Shut up.
Yeah, I know. It's sports, man. You're allowed to have takes.
Oh, I love
opinions.
The takes. I'm fine with the takes, but nobody cares who the fan of your team is on what you're about to say. Just say, or you know what? I'm just going to start saying, as a human being, I think Bryce Young stinks. I mean, how stupid does it sound for me to say, as a Packers fan, I think Bryce Young stinks? I think it just sounds dumb. Just be like, Bryce Young stinks. As a human being, Bryce Young stinks.
Yeah, it's just like an easy cop out, like kind of just way to be like, well, if you disagree, I'm just a Packers fan,
Yeah, just like I've seen good quarterback play because I'm a Packers fan. Yeah. I had nothing to do with Favre or Rodgers or Love's success, but I watched it, so I know good quarterback play.
Yeah.
Shut up,
man. Yeah. So since it is a new year, I know New Year's resolutions are a thing. What is your you got a New Year's resolution for the
Yeah,
Packers?
maybe not for the Packers. For myself, I'll do both. For myself, I'm trying to stop cussing so much, but football makes me just gets the best of me. I'm sorry.
Hey, but
Hand up
that's the Bush
accountability.
Light.
Hand up
It's the Bush.
accountability.
It's the Bush Light,
I
man.
told Grandma stop cussing.
Yeah.
It didn't work this episode, but hey, I tried.
Hey, I think we can cut it down a little bit.
Cut it down.
We'll start doing some bleeps.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then for the Packers, I don't know. Because I think they've been fine for the most part. They just had little mistakes. I just want to see. I want to see Jordan Love play to the potential that he has. Because he shows flashes of it. Like I want him to take, maybe this playoff run like personal, like where MJ is saying I took that personally. Like.
Mm-hmm.
Bears just knocked you out of the game. They want to come with a cheap shot. And then the last playoff game, or the last meaningful playoff game, was against San Fran, and you threw that devastating interception. Have you learned from kind of these mini disasters, and can you take that shit personally and elevate it into this playoff run?
Nice, man. I hear you. Yeah.
What about you?
No. New Year's resolution. Personally, I just I need to get back in my gym game regularly. I haven't been in the gym in like a month, man. I've been slacking.
I haven't been in the gym in like 3 years, but guess what? This ain't no beer belly. It's an ass.
Yeah.
It's a gas tank full of ass.
Yeah, I know. Well, I work a physical job too, so it's like it's a lot for me. But no excuses. No excuses. I'm not making excuses.
2026 is the year of no excuses.
Yeah, that's right. And for the Panthers, man, resolution, I just want to see us get back to our winning formula. Like, let's just run, pound the rock, do what we do. Complimentary football starts with the run game. Quit trying to let Bryce prove himself, or quit trying to fool people, letting Bryce throw 30 times a game. They're not scared of Bryce throwing. Okay, so run the ball. Boom.
I love it. I love it. And maybe we'll do another episode Saturday night after that Panthers game. Either we might be celebrating, or we might be trying to figure out ways on how Kirk Cousins is going to throw for 350 yards.
Yeah. I hope not, man. But yeah, we will see, man. It's 2 days. 2 days. So.
Well, it's a new year. It's a new day. It's a new life.
That's right.
Cheers to you, Drew. First episode done in the new year.
That's right.
Like 250 to come.
That's
we
right.
appreciate you guys. Hope everybody had a safe and happy new year. We'll see you Saturday night. We'll be going live Saturday night after the game.
Yes,
we love you. God bless you. Goodbye.
Goodbye.